And welcome back. Well, we have featured some pretty unusual jobs here on NTV's Good Life. And believe it or not, today we have another one.
Yeah, we do. Our Good Life guy, Brian Ganuzzi. Oh, wait, he's right here. Joins us with another edition of All in a Day's Work. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning. And you know, NTV has lots of towers to get our signals sent here and there and to get signals sent between for lots of different things. But sometimes you don't need the tower anymore, so you got to call in somebody to help you out.
That's right.
So recently, NTV had a small microwave tower near Rosemont that had not been used for about a decade. It needed to come down, so they called in the experts from Vicor Teleconstruction of Sioux Falls, South Dakota to do the job.
As you might imagine, one of the first things to figure out is which way do you want the tower to go?
So we have the fall zone, wherever they want this thing to fall. Obviously we can't fall certain directions. So the fall zone for this one was this way. So you go to your opposite anchor and then you just chop down that anchor, detension it and chop down that anchor. And then the pole of the other two will fall it where you want it to. And if you do it right, it'll fall nicely and it'll lay out nice and straight.
William mentioned the term detention, which is just what it sounds like. They loosen the wires holding up the tower.
It works a lot better if you detension everything so it doesn't have a lot of tension on it. It's safer and a lot easier to deal with all the wires and stuff once you cut them. But pretty much, yeah, just detension it, and then if they're larger, on a larger scale, you would rig them and all that stuff. So.
For this relatively small 250-foot tower, the crew was ready in no time. They double-checked with us that we were rolling from multiple camera angles and then cut the line opposite the way they wanted the tower to fall.
It was very simple, just cut her down. Laid out nice and straight, it fell very nicely, went smooth, it didn't buckle, so we're good. That's some of the things you got to worry about, especially on a larger scale, is buckling. You don't want them to bend in half or any of that stuff, so you want them to fall nice and smooth and like a feather. Just starting to get rid of all the guide wires so we can roll all them up and scrap them, recycle everything. So once he gets done with that, then we will cut it all up into sections and get it all recycled. So basically we'll sort out the different metals and make sure it all gets recycled properly and everything gets disposed of in a proper way. Make it look like we were never here.
The project includes removing this tower site building. William says they get to travel all over the country doing their job of working with communication towers in various ways. He admits dropping the occasional tower is probably his favorite part of the job.
It's a really great job. Love what I do. I mean, you don't get to do this every day. It's unique. There's not many jobs out there that are like this.
Brian Ganuzzi, NTV's Good Life, Webster County.
The tower we just showed you come down was about 250 feet tall. Just for comparison, NTV's chief engineer said the big tower right here at our station is about 500 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
But he says we also have towers about 2,000 feet tall. So,
My
Really?
goodness.
and apparently one of those needs to go eventually in our near future, so I might get a return visit with our friend Willie to see how that goes.
And I just like it that he loves his job.
I
Yes.
know
I mean,
it.
'cause
he
he
smiled
does
the
love
whole
it.
time.
Yeah.
That is pretty
And when
cool.
it fell, you know, we were all like, "That's so cool!" But he had the biggest smile of anybody. So
Was he a
Yeah.
one-man crew then?
there was two of
Two
them
of
there.
them.
So he was the chief, and the other guy was cutting and busy doing his
And you
thing.
had some
so.
help with that, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we see that video again of them knocking down the tower?
Let's watch it.
Because that
again.
was so cool. It's kind of like, you don't see that. There they go. They just cut it and away
Cut
it
the
goes.
one end, and the noise you're hearing is the guideline drag across the fence line.
Wow.
Because we had 4 cameras, one at the
Look at
base, and then
that.
of course we had the drone with a little help from Casey Bevensey.
Wow.
And then one sitting by us where we were droning, and then obviously you saw the one on the people as they were dropping it. So
Do we know
That's
how
cool.
old that tower is? It from? Because we've been around NTV since 1953.
Yeah, I bet it's probably from the
they said it
60s or
was very
70s.
old and it hasn't been in use for about a decade. I do
Wow.
not know its
Okay.
actual age, but he said old, needed to go. So
Needed to go.
And the thing that was
Nice.
cool is he said, "Oh, that was pretty simple." And like, what? Simple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess all in a day's work.
if you're an
correct?
expert, it might be
Yeah.
simple for the rest of us.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice shots with the drone and where you place all the cameras. Good work on that. That was a
Great
lot of fun.
adventures. You're going to see Brian and Casey all over the place.
Yeah.
We're traveling around, getting rivers, leaving their banks, and all sorts of things. So
There
we'll
we
share some of
go.
those coming up. So.
Very nice. Thank you,
Thank you,
Brian.
You bet.
Brian. We'll be right back. Stay with us.